All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other. Fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now on first down. Wide open, Gronkowski. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
24. Get down. 185.
Carr now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick, and I think the guys on the defensive know that's got to stop.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll drop the throw. That is incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You've got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the picked up by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But
and maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably completions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Cooper's first catch, and good for a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He's going to look deep down the field. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
24.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. With it is Brown. Fights off the defender. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Tackle made by Rasheem Green. They're going to look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He gets it to Brown, complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Now a handoff looking right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. Trying to punch it in with Collins. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And Butker able to put this one through. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Able to get away. Trying to lay one up deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. He's got his man on the crossing route. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
From midfield, here's Carr. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Shotgun now for Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Carr. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Here we go now. Green
the play fake. He'll look to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now after the INT, it's Carr sliding out of the pocket. Going right side here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. On first down, Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch.
And he's going to go down, sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
It's second and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Now Carr. Flushed out right. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Derek Carr, 14 yards. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, spinning away. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Gone! Detroit! Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Four minutes to play here in quarter number 2.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
first down. He'll drop to throw it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early. You are so correct. And what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began. Throwing on first down is Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Take along the turnover instantly almost turning into points. And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down. See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting at 50% thus far. Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch. You really got to find a way to drive the ball. Get your grip. That's why we see some of the guys now, they'll put the gloves on when they throw the ball in this type of a condition. Sometimes the glove might make it too slippery. So you've got to figure out what's going to work for you. But how about the receivers? Looking back and trying to locate the ball coming through snow and making sure they have full concentration. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Over the middle here to Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. To go here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken near the 13. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Down! 180! Low! Express!
Here's Carr to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. The Jets out to the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Carr. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
On play action, now Carr. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
637.
Throwing now is Carr. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 7 as Carr finds Cooper.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough.
Yo, Chief.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the ball's going to be going back to the Chiefs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Gun! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
They'll throw now on the final play. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. This is taken at the 3. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Man open left side is Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
6:37.
From the gun, it's Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking for Gronk that time, and it's 3rd and short.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Monday, down. 180. 694. 93.
Carr now on 1st down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now, Carr again. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Again, it's Carr. Looking middle, it's caught by Gronkowski. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet and then taken down right at the 30. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
29.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. stepping up. He's going to keep it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now Carr throwing on second down. That's caught. It's Gronkowski. Touchdown, Raiders. Rob Gronkowski, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll begin the drive with Collins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go on the ground. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Gone! Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4.
Lucky 56. Gone.
To double-check my math, but it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it, but the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Down. 180. 29. 29. Goes up.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Throwing right, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Raiders on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. The extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Butker now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
He's going to let this go deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going deep. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Back to throw now on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Gone!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So a big one coming now for Harrison Butker. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Butker pulled it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Now, lady.
Carr going to throw here. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Leopard!
Now they try the right side here. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. The Chiefs on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, I think they knew that that one was going to be a long shot, but in the end, it's looking like they're going to come up short.
And it's tough to really hang too much blame on your kicker here either. That would have been well above and beyond his range, and this will go down as a tough loss. They played well enough to win.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10.
808. What's on?
Carr going to look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Express. 808.
Carr to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and we have done in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. And they'll run it here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Well, we were prepping for overtime up here in the booth, partner. Thought for sure we were destined for OT. And then the chip shot field goal, no good. A tough loss.
Oh, without question, because when you're saying prepping, I was locked in. I think you were too. We're going to overtime. I was already gathering my thoughts about, okay, how do we start? What happens with the coin toss? Who's going to play defense first? And I have to admit, I'm in a little bit of shock that he missed that field goal.
I'm absolutely still in shock. Just a tough way to end it. So for the Raiders, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7 and 7. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they've plummeted now to 3 and 11. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA.